this is Scrapping Amy with Well Mommy Scrapping, and welcome to the Scrappy Sisters September Scrappy event. And today's prompt is pattern paper, and I adore pattern paper. I love mixing it, and I have found I actually use hardly any cardstock at this point because pattern paper is everything to me. So I have a photo of my daughter and I when she was 6 years old from Christmas Eve. And which is why I picked the large scenery paper that I did in the background. I have never used that moon paper from Chamel's Starshine collection because I've always struggled with it. But when I saw the date of this photo being Christmas Eve, it made me think, okay, Santa going through his sleigh in the night sky, and all of a sudden this became absolutely perfect. So I trimmed a little bit off of my photo so I could use a 6x6 pad to actually mat the first layer, which gives me a very small print. And I like to mix print sizes when I do my layers for mats. And I also like to mix the colors so I don't have like one color up against another color that's exactly the same. I like there to be a lot of variety in there. So I end up with all of these, and the green sometimes will feel a little out of place, but inking the edges helps to draw all of the layers together and give them something uniform, which I enjoy. And then the green zigzags also happen to have a darker tone of that blue in it, which then ties the blue in. I decided to go with a messy stack of photos, of mats, because it gives a little bit more energy to this. And when you've got an excited 6-year-old for Christmas, energy is about all you have at your house. So I think the messy stack helps to convey that. I'm going to put it there on the left side on an angle. Now I glue it down, and of course I have to peel it back up in a moment because I realize it feels like it's kind of floating there. I'm looking through some of my stuff, and here I'm pulling some F's for the word Eve, which I will show you what I do with that because I am out of E's for these stickers and I refuse to not use them. So I cut off some of the ends of that pound sign or hashtag if you're young, and I turn them into E's that way. Now I start pulling off these stickers, and then I realize it feels very floaty. I need something to ground it. So I'm pulling out some of the Starshine washi tape, which is a shaped washi tape with those edges. I'm going to trim around the edge that's kind of hanging out there on the right to give it a curved feel, like a finished edge. And here I go. I'm peeling my photo up because I can't do a layout without peeling stuff up. I struggle sometimes with those liquid adhesives that get really firmly glued down because I'm like, I can't move it now. Everybody complains that ATGs are permanent with their adhesive. I'm like, nope, I peel those suckers up all the time. All right, so now I have my photos down. I'm adding the title. I have 3 different fonts for this. I'm right now with it small letters spelling the word smiles. Eve will be in those pretty Fitzgerald glitter stickers. And then I'll use my mini markets from October Afternoon to spell the word Christmas. So it's Christmas Eve Smiles. Unfortunately, in my head, this looked a little more balanced than it does on the actual layout. There's a weird gap with the word Eve that is kind of like between the word Christmas and the word stories. Eve is a short word, and I'm using tall, skinny letters. I did not think this out very well. But I'm going to make it work. You'll see what I do in just a moment. I'm very pleased with how nicely the mini markets match this line. I wish I could get more of these. If anybody sees them for sale, send me a link to the site. I would happily buy more. So I'm going through my packs of chipboard. I have 2 packs. I actually only bought 1 to begin with because I wasn't huge in buying like all the embellishments when this collection came out. Something I really regret nowadays. But I found the second pack at Tuesday morning and just snapped it right up because I cannot turn down Chamel embellishments, especially for my favorite collection. So there it is. I'm putting this rose in there. Now the rose motif is on the washi tape as well, and then it's also at that star at the top. So it kind of pulls the flowers and the stars together with that star in the top left corner. I'm trying to, y'all, oh my gosh. This is like the only time chipboard from American Crafts is actually stuck down really well. It's with this collection. I tried to peel it up so I could add this little phrase in there that says "Merry everything and happy always," which I thought would have been perfect to put where the flower is. And then, of course, it won't peel up. So I'm like, that's fine. I'm not going to fight the paper. This moon paper is from the 12 by 12 pad, which is a thinner paper than the individual papers that were sold. So I'm getting this Paige Evans rub-on down. It is hard to see on camera. It is not the easiest thing to see in person either, I have to confess, but it is definitely more legible in person. I keep pulling out those, the rub-ons, thinking I'm going to try to make them work, and I am not able to get them to work anywhere else. And then I have those beautiful stickers printed on the clear, which I have struggled using so much because I want them to have a background. It's hard to see them. So I go back to the 6x6 pad because I need something else to ground the embellishment cluster. I'm like, I need a third cluster. What can I use? I find this phrase that says, always believe something wonderful is about to happen, which again, perfect for a 6-year-old at Christmas. Pull those rub-ons back out, and I keep telling myself I can find something. And there are a couple sentiments that actually work, but I can't find a good place to like actually fit them in. That one I just slipped back in had the word joy on it, which again would have worked really well where that flower is. So I go back to the chipboard. I pull out that circle so it says so happy up at the top, and that kind of mimics the shape of the moon. And then I start adding in a bunch of the chipboard stars. Having the 2 packs of chipboard elements made it very easy to have enough stars. So I've got 1 or 2 stars in every cluster somewhere. And then I'm going to grab my Nuvo drops. You know me, if you've watched any of my videos, I have to have my Nuvo in there. So I'm using glitter drops this time. I thought that would add a bit of sparkle for a Christmas one. And I have Dazzling Blue, which is the dark blue I just used there. I'm now picking up Red Sunstone, and then the final color I use is Aquatic Mist. So I have links to the Scrappy Sister video down below, and close-ups are coming up. I hope you will check out all of the wonderful inspiration that is available from this hop, and hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye!